April Anderson. My pronouns are she, her, and I've been at Omnidian since December 2021, so almost 4 years. So I started as a technical support. So at that point, the job title was like a solar expert, and it's basically tier 2. So I didn't exactly start with like the customer support as much as the troubleshooting support. And that was just due to my technical background. So that's what I started here with. I actually ended up doing that role for about 9 months. I really, really liked it though. I ended up doing something a little more specifically technical after that though. So yeah, after I went from technical support, I went into what's called proactive alerting. I went in as a specialist. That's basically where you diagnose and assess systems that are having bad health states, basically. And I did that for about 1.5 years. And then I went into PVT, which is a different team also. So it went from Team Love to Ops Success, which is more of a back-end team. Kind of doing a 50-50 role though. And then into Ops Success PVT, which is our performance verification testing. So this is what we're doing when we're onboarding systems and checking their health for 30 days to make sure they're healthy and they're communicating. And then we pass them so they become active assets under management. And then I became a team lead on that team. That's where I started out in PVT. And then I was promoted to supervisor early, January of this year. And then they moved me laterally back to proactive alerting as their supervisor instead. So, yep, back to proactive. Yeah, I was actually pretty proactive. I knew a couple of coworkers who were currently doing the work. It quickly became one coworker doing the work. And I'm like, hey, are you getting someone to help with your team? I kind of like the sound of this work, and it's definitely more in line with my skill set. So I'd love to help. And then a role finally opened for that team, so I was able to apply. And of course, you have to get your approval to apply from your manager and stuff. So I gathered those before I applied, but yeah. I did have to learn a few new things, mostly diagnoses for you have to get really good at diagnosing under production issues. So that's SAV issues, swelling, shading, the occasional hardware failure. But really the most challenging part was probably, going from solar expert to proactive alerting was a bit of a difficult transition because what they did is they kind of cut me to 50-50. So I was still doing solar expert work half the time and then proactive alerting the other half of the time. And I did that for about 6 months because of support issues and, team sizing issues. Proactive alerting is only a 2-person team, or it was then. And solar experts, there were a dozen of us maybe. And, but a lot of support was needed over there, and they took a while to be able to backfill. So yeah, stuck around for a while. So there were a lot of changes going on during that time, but really it was, I had been taking a certification course for project management because I used the learning stipend here, got a Coursera subscription basically. I was able to do a few different courses, and one of them was the Google project management course. And that gave me a big insight into managing these larger scale things and working more closely with teams like engineering and how they structure their work. So for me, it was wanting to flex those skills a little bit more. So when I saw a leadership role open for a team that is very similar in the work that's done, it just isn't in a different asset life cycle stage. So since it's at the beginning, I'm in onboarding, but it's still making sure the system's healthy and happy. Yeah, still same work, just a little bit more hands-on with leadership and making sure we're doing what we need to do and like making sure, like starting to actually measure metrics and get those created. So it was a lot of process creation. Yeah, I would have to say it was mostly people. We didn't really have like the awesome Jason trainings that are happening now when I first went into the leadership role. I will say we did do like sort of like management learning thing, but it was like sometime last year. And it basically went over a lot of similar things. It was rather helpful. I just can't remember the name of it to save my life. But Rael, my manager, enrolled me in it, so I thought it was really kind. I will say another thing that really helped was Fierce Conversations, the book. Rael, my manager, bought it, and we did kind of like a book club thing about it, just to get more familiar with the roles and having these fiercer conversations, and which is really cool. So yeah, Rael, huge influence into wanting me to go through the manager track, and Dana too. She's really an inspiration as well. Probably learning good tact, especially when giving criticism. I think that was probably one of the most monumental like learning moments here I've had, and it really helped me to fine tune the best way to kind of like kindly break something that like this is not a good thing that happened and this should probably be done in a better way. But I have ideas, so we're not totally, without them. But yeah, no, I did a couple of fumbles early on and was like, oh, I didn't mean to hurt their feelings. So I definitely learned how to be a bit more tactful when it comes to breaking news like that. But other than that, it's mainly just learning how to manage people. That was a lot newer to me, and came with a lot of great rewards because I haven't been so hands-on in someone else's development before, and it's really cool to see them just like learn and grow and get better at things, and it's just really like intensely satisfying. Yeah, no, I highly recommend shadowing people. It is the best way to get it kind of an idea of what you want to do, because I did a few shadows to try and figure out like what teams seemed most interesting to me, especially for ones that ended up like where the pay range is a little better, a little bit more sustainable. But especially once you get the experience under your belt with that, and also absolutely like use that learning stipend, it will like give you the edge you need in getting like different like roles and interviews for those roles. And I have to say, I really think that really helped me in the end. That and just learning about the things you're interested in and becoming more passionate in it. So follow your heart. Honesty and openness, like just being able to admit mistakes and then overcome them, or at least work to overcome them. And I feel like that really goes in line with Omnidian mission as well. And I think just dedication, like learning about your role, getting completely immersed in it, and figuring out like the ins and outs of like literally everything you have to work with, honestly will serve you really well. Yeah, I think those are the best qualities that get rewarded. I think it's going to be integrity, teamwork, and collaboration. Teamwork and collaboration are kind of similar, but they're also kind of separate. So collaboration usually comes with like communication and being able to work cross-departmentally. And then like teamwork is working within your team and being able to disseminate either information or be able to take control and prioritize and like deal with all the influx of like work and like tasks coming at you. And integrity is just being honest and maintaining your moral and ethical code and inside, and just coming as your whole genuine self. I think those three words kind of encapsulate that. So